Hey folks, E-King here, and in this video we're going to talk about female teachers having sex with students and the double standards we have towards them for doing so. Okay, so this picture that you see right here is Alana Ferguson. Alana is 23 years old out of Texas, and she was a algebra teacher, I believe. We'll clarify here in the news clip coming up, but she was an algebra teacher in Texas, I believe in the Plano School District area, and she was caught having sex with a 16-year-old boy. Now, not only did she have sex with this kid, but she did it in her fiance's apartment while he was gone hunting. He's probably out catting around on her too and just told her he was hunting because, you know, birds of a feather flock together, no pun intended. But anyway, so she did it in his apartment and then called the wedding off. You know, not because she was doing it, but because she did it in his apartment. Okay, I don't know. I'm just kind of making a joke there. But what I want to do is I'm going to play this news clip. We're going to follow up on the other side, and then I'll play a second news clip. We'll wrap it all up with a further discussion of, while you're watching this, I want you to think about, is there a double standard that society has towards females having sex with minor children versus men having sex with little girls? Think about that while you're watching this clip, and try not to think of, okay, yeah, well, it's okay because she looks good on both clips. I think that also plays into that double standard. But I want you to watch this news clip, and then I want to get your feedback on the other end.
Senior high school teacher is out of jail, now accused of sexually assaulting one of her students, plus giving him liquor, beer, and sending him nude pictures of herself. 23-year-old Elena Ferguson was engaged to be married. Now that wedding is called off, and she's out of a job. Fox 4's Alex Boyer live outside the school late tonight with reaction from students and parents. Alex.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. I can tell you that Plano ISD says Ferguson only worked for the school district for about 2 months before quitting her job in October. But it was in that very short time that detectives say she met a 16-year-old student in one of her classes and began an inappropriate relationship. This is the high school algebra teacher McKinney police say had sex with a teenage boy several times before being caught.
I was shocked. I mean, I didn't really think this would happen at my school.
18-year-old Yusef Badawi didn't have Elena Ferguson as a teacher, but says word of her arrest was the topic of conversation at Plano Senior High School Friday.
A friend of mine told me, and he heard from his friend, and his friend knew the guy that had the relations with his teachers.
According to an arrest affidavit, the relationship began around the start of this school year after the 16-year-old student wrote his Snapchat username on a test and handed it to Ferguson.
It's kind of crazy. It's scary to think that this could happen between a teacher and a child.
Shortly after chatting online, the report states the two met up in Louisville and had sex on a park bench. 2 weeks later, she reportedly assaulted him again, this time at the McKinney apartment belonging to Ferguson's fiancée, who was out of town hunting. The two allegedly had intercourse at the apartment several times, and that Ferguson provided the teen with alcohol.
You want them to learn and get a good education, but not that kind.
The detective who wrote the arrest warrant noted that Ferguson told the teen she knew it was not the right thing to do, but it felt right at the time, and that she was going to break it off with her fiancé because she didn't feel anything with him.
That's very concerning that here you're sending your child to somewhere that you think is safe.
And according to the arrest warrant, the last time the two had sex was in the back of the victim's pickup truck after a football game in November. I can tell you that bond was set at $100,000. Part of the terms of her release from jail on that bond is that she is not allowed to have any contact with the 16-year-old. She also must wear an ankle monitoring bracelet, and Ferguson has also been ordered to stay off of a computer and, of course, social media. Steve?
So what are your thoughts about this? Be sure and leave your comments below. And while you're at it, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so all my other videos about such cool topics will pre-populate for you. Now, I can't help but feel that if that was a 23-year-old man violating a 16-year-old girl, I don't even think he would have made it to get booked in. I think they would have snuffed him out long before he even made it to the jail, let alone giving him a $100,000 bond and then kind of smacking him on the hand and saying, oh, try to stay off the internet if you can. Like, they can really police that. Anyway, that's my opinion. I want to know your thoughts. So go ahead and let's get some dialogue going here in the comment section. Now, this next chomo, all right, this heifer, not only was she raping a little 13-year-old boy, she got pregnant by him. I'm going to roll this news clip, and then we'll follow up with some dialogue on the other end.
By her 13-year custody, Alexandria Vera turned herself into police this morning. Our Jacqueline Correa is live outside the school where she taught with the latest developments in this case. Jackie.
Yeah, we just found out that 24-year-old Alexandria Vera is now out on bond, but she's been on administrative leave from Stovall Middle School since last month. This is her mugshot from this morning after she turned herself in. Vera faces felony child sex abuse charges and jail time. She and the boy, who was just 13 years old when it all started, reportedly had sex daily for 9 months, and Vera got pregnant. Then Aldine ISD middle school teacher reportedly told investigators that the boy's parents were excited about the unborn child and even welcomed her to their family gatherings with open arms. Vera also reportedly said it began by messaging each other on Instagram and that the boy would flirt and say inappropriate things to her that she initially would tell him to stop. Vera is also said to have told authorities she eventually caved in and that the two kissed in her car, then had sex for the very first time in the boy's home. After that, they supposedly began having sleepovers at Vera's home. CPS showed up at Stovall Middle School to question her, and Vera apparently became nervous and told investigators she then had an abortion. She does have a 4-year-old daughter. We're also told that CPS is now investigating the mother of that student. I'm live at Stovall Middle School. Jacqueline Correa, KHOU 11 News.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about this, about getting pregnant by a 13-year-old boy, and more specifically about the boy's parents actually endorsing and supporting the relationship? I think that's just wrong on so many levels. That kind of sounds like there might have been some parental pimping or something going on there. That's wrong, or somebody seeing dollar signs, because either way it goes, sounds like there can be some lawsuits down the road here. Because what if she did have that kid? Then would that 13-year-old boy be liable for child support later on down the road? I mean, it's just wrong on so many different levels. But one of the things that's really troubling for me is how this woman is blaming the boy for what she did. She's not even taking responsibility. Yes, she turned herself in, so on and so forth, as far as that goes. But in her mind, she is blaming him. And she did that by saying that he was flirting with me. After a while, she gave in to him. So you mean to tell me that your mentality is so weak that you succumb to the mentality and the will of a 13-year-old boy? That in there is an issue, which means you don't need to be teaching at all. You're a dummy. On top of that, the fact that she even says, well, he was making inappropriate comments and I gave in to that. Well, God bless America, man. I got 4 teenagers. If their lips is moving, it's inappropriate, period. I mean, that's just, that's the nature of the beast when you're dealing with teenagers. The fact that she, again, is in denial about it is just very disturbing to me, that she did something wrong. She's blaming the boy. She did something wrong. And what is your thoughts on that? That, in part, is where I feel there is a double standard towards women molesting boys versus men molesting girls. And I'm not saying neither one is right. I think regardless of how she looks physically, she needs to be so far under the jail that they have to pump sunlight to her. Period. Or throw her in gym pop with some dudes that's been locked up for 15 years and see how she likes that. That's the same thing. If it's a dude molesting little girls, man, they need to be wiped from the face of the earth. They're pond scum, and worse than pond scum as far as my concern is. Anyway, that's my rant. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Okay, folks, that's going to do it for this video. Know that myself and the entire Ben Group is always watching over you. So just let me know if there's ever anything that I can help you in business or otherwise.